Hello, everybody. My name is Renee. Thank you for joining me again, and welcome back to Highly Motivated, a channel where we check out different things that I find interesting, and hopefully you will too. Today, we're going to be discussing Sneako's latest appearance on Fresh and Fit.
On Twitter saying that men should get vasectomies in their 20s just to prevent this, which I completely disagree with. I think that it's important to have family values and to prepare for eventual parenthood. But that's the cope that a lot of men have. Like, why raise a family in this scenario? Why risk having a child with somebody who's wanting to build an empire or wanting to be as famous as Rihanna when you could just play it safe and do the snip.
Babe.
But I disagree with him completely. I want to know what you think about that. Rollo, like the godfather red pill, who's pretty much like created a lot of these ideologies, is saying like avoid having a family. I think that's complete cope. Like that's just that's when it becomes.
Listen, the idea of avoiding having a family is exactly what they want. I've been kind of wondering this for a while, if the red pill community isn't just another way that the elite are pitting men and women against each other so that we don't have families and so that we are no longer with our natural order, so that we're miserable and so that we can be controlled. I always feel like there is a larger plan that we're not a part of and we don't get a say in.
A black hole, and really
that's why you need Jesus.
I think given the marketplace that we're in, it's a reasonable strategy.
Avoid family.
Well, here's the thing: the upsides are great, but the downsides will absolutely demolish you. I mean, you can look at the TradeCons right now that's going through it. I mean, look at Steven Crowder right now, bro. So it's like, and I think that's why so many guys are going abroad, because at least there.
I mean, Steven Crowder, did you hear the way he was speaking to his wife? I mean, what do you mean, look at Steven Crowder? He did that to himself. Like, I don't know, really. I don't always agree with what they have to say, man. Especially Myron. He has a lot of great points. However, he strikes me as someone who did not get any poontang in high school and now has made himself some money and feels like he just wants to treat women like crap and degrade them to make up for them not paying him attention in high school.
Or like the women value family more than here. I mean, a lot of the girls here said, I want a family, but if you notice, like the things that they're working on isn't necessarily to be a better mom. So I think one or two you guys mentioned
that's very true too.
Of you,
there we go. And that's the other thing. I mean, women, you need to start learning how to be moms and wives. And I know you're going to say that I'm like stuck in the Stone Ages, but there is a natural order. We were here to procreate, be fruitful and multiply. We were meant to be wives. Men were meant to be husbands. We were meant to bear children. The men were supposed to lead the family and the women were supposed to lead the children, and everything is out of order. So if everything is out of order, of course the women are out of order, and of course the men are out of order, and then of course the children are out of order. And we've allowed this to be done to us. We've allowed ideologies to get into our brains, and then we're second guessing what God's plan is for us, and we let the demons in, and we don't even realize that we are being controlled. If you're not playing for God, you're playing for the devil, and you are his tool, and he is your puppet master. Point blank. That just is the way it is.
You guys were prioritizing your career and your education, your own self-improvement, which is great. That's fantastic, but that's more of a masculine thing. Like, you got to ask yourself, is the guy that you want, is he going to want that back in return? Is he going to want another him? I mean, would you guys, what if I lined up a bunch of dudes here and I said, what are y'all going to do to get the wife of your dreams? And they all said, oh, well, I'm getting manicures, I'm buying really nice designer, I'm getting dressed up really well, I'm doing my eyebrows, I'm getting haircuts every week. Would y'all take those guys seriously?
No.
Probably not, right? Because the things they're working on only benefit them, not necessarily you, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of how you got to look at it from the male perspective. Like, it's great that you guys are working on your money and everything, but it doesn't really benefit us as men.
I think we should ask as well.
Yeah.
How many of you want kids with men?
Men don't care about your money.
Having a father in the household too as well.
And when I hear a man make a comment about a woman not making enough money, it makes me wonder, like, I don't know. I just don't think that that's what you should be worried about in a woman. Okay, so maybe she doesn't make a lot of money, but can she cook and clean? And does she take care of you? Does she love you right? Is she loyal? Is she trustworthy? There's way more things that are far more important than dollars.
I think everyone.
Everybody?
Yeah,
Everybody?
Okay, cool.
Okay. None of y'all want like a surrogate or anything like that?
No.
Yeah.
No
But
way.
I think Rollo's assessment is spot on for the West, but I think that's why so many guys are going abroad, because women have more traditional values. I mean, hell,
Just
some of the girls
don't bring
are
them
foreign,
back
but they still
here.
have fairly Western values, right? If we went to Romania or something like that, when we were there, like girls aren't going to say, "Oh yeah, my career and making money." They're like, "Fuck that shit, I want to be home."
But the
Right.
obsession, the
Listen.
reason you said that is like how to become a hive.
Oh my gosh. Okay, feminists are about choice, 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 choice. Well, where's my choice? Because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I didn't get to have that. So we have so much less
Value
choice.
man.
We're
The
forced
obsession with becoming high
to being
status
wage
and having other
slaves in
people
order to
admire you
survive.
instead of reach your peak happiness, which is having a family. That's where it becomes kind of bleak. Like, what makes you high value? Other people's perception, having a lot of money, having a network. Like, why does that matter? Why does being a high value man matter if you're not
And what
gonna
is high
eventually start
value?
a family?
Because look at all the girls here; they're all propping themselves up to be that high value.
And I also, that bothers me too, because high value to these men is money, women, having multiple sexual partners, and I'm sorry, that's not high value. A high value man is a man of God, a man with integrity, a man with self-control, a man who's humble, a man who cares for his wife and for those who are less than, a man who gives. Like, it has nothing to do with a man who's has six figures and 6 foot and 6 inches, and if that's all that you're looking for in a man, you wonder why you're miserable. That you go for Chad and Tyrone and they're not it, sister.
Value man. That's
But-
why.
Just to
Well, and
clear.
we're calling that bleak, and we're calling that out and saying it's empty. So why are we advocating for the same thing on the other side?
Because it's not going to change, bro. Feminism
Right.
is here and it's not going anywhere. Like, women will not concede whatsoever. Like, they're going to continue to make money. They're going to continue to gain status. They're going to continue to, go up the ranks. Women are going to out-earn men in the next 20 years. I predict it. They're dominating men when it comes to college
being
graduation.
bleak about it
It's not
is
changing.
kind of a waste, because we've seen some, like, I think your answer is exactly what I saw girls in Eastern Europe.
I don't usually
doing.
agree with
They
Sneako
try to get
either.
closer to
He's
God, working on their health, working on making sure they're emotionally
Growing up.
mature. That's what Eastern European women are doing. So it's not like you can't just put a blanket over all the women here and say,
Yeah.
give up and cut off your fucking balls from your dick so that you can.
No, I get that. I'm all for families, man. I've always said it. The nuclear family is the backbone of any thriving
It
society.
is. It is.
However, when half the equation of having a nuclear family doesn't necessarily prioritize a nuclear family, as a man, you
It's
got to
by
make some
design.
adaptations, because if you do make a nuclear family with someone that isn't as interested in making a nuclear family with you, and they're
All of the separation of the family is by design.
rewarded for leaving that nuclear family through divorce courts.
The devil is at war with God, and what better way to hurt God than to hurt His creation? Why? And all of America is Babylon. I mean, let's be real.
Alimony, etc. As a guy, you got to kind of reassess how you want to move. So I'm saying families are fantastic, but it's a very dangerous proposition in the West, the United States. That's my thing. But I'm all for families, though. I am, trust me. Come from a 2-parent household. I would probably be a fucked up idiot if I didn't come from a 2-parent household. But my parents from the Middle East. They have different culture values. Religion is a thing. Here, religion isn't that big. Feminism is here. Women prioritize careers. Just seeing.
And that just proves my point. When you remove religion from a society, the society crumbles. It's just like ancient Rome. Everything that's happening now has happened before. There's nothing new under the sun.
And all these girls are young too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
They're
That's
all
the
young.
scary part.
You know what I mean? So
So what's your take on this? I want to hear Freshman Fit's take on this. There's 15,000 men watching for the most part. Should men in their 20s get a vasectomy?
Personally, I would say, looking at it from a holistic standpoint, I get what Rollo's saying for the whole topic itself of being high value, because once again, if you get a woman pregnant, that's
The
not there
world's
for you,
version
she could
of
dig
high
into and could
value.
turn into many different things. But personally, like I was saying earlier, for me, I do want a family. If I meet the right woman, I think is going to raise that child. But for most men, to have the I want to say resources to find a woman that they want of their dreams, or even get the right woman? Probably not. So to be safe, vasectomy might be in their best interest.
So
Because,
yes.
No, I'm saying, okay, so
It's a yes or no.
It depends on the
He's not going to
individual.
give a solid
That's what I'm
answer.
saying.
He's going to ride the
So
fence.
it's up to the man to decide for himself. But I'm just saying,
gonna do a
generally for
Tim
me,
Pool.
I think family is very important. But I understand why most men might not want that, because finding a woman that's actually good for you may be kind of hard. So I get
Ducking a little bit.
In America specifically.
In America, yeah.
In America, to be specific.
What do you think?
Let's get the ladies' takes on it, and then I'll give my opinion, because I don't want to corrupt them with my take.
Okay.
All right, ladies, let's make this a little bit more engaging. Let's say you have a son. He's 21 years old, building up a business, whatever it may be, is becoming somewhat successful. Actually, you know what? Let's say 30 years old, because let's be honest, 21-year-old guy is fucking useless. He ain't doing nothing with life. So 30-year-old guy, building up a business, he's on his way to becoming successful. Should he have a vasectomy, knowing how women move nowadays and how girls can trap guys? Should he have a vasectomy? We could start on the couch and then work our way. What do you?
No, you know what? Here, let me give my opinion first. You know what he should do? He should exercise some self-control. He should wear condoms. If he is in a monogamous relationship, he should make sure that his partner is on a form of birth control. It's called being responsible. Or, I mean, we could just go 100% biblical and just wait until you're married. But the reality is most people are not doing that. So have some self-control. I mean, listen, a man without self-control is no more than a beast.
What are your thoughts to protect himself?
If he's really successful, I mean, I've seen men get trapped. So I'd probably be more prone to saying yes if he was, like a target. But on the whole, I think no.
Okay.
No. I would tell my son completely no.
Okay.
Not
Yes. Of course not.
Honestly, if they don't want to have children, then yeah. But I think that every man should be able to decide if they want to have a children or not.
All right.
And it's important. So I don't think so, honestly.
Okay.
Well,
you can just find.
They can't decide if they can have children or not, and that is kind of something I have a bone of contention with, because a woman has the right to decide if she doesn't want a baby all she wants, but a man doesn't have the right to decide if he wants to care for that child. And I'm not saying that I don't think men should care for that child, but if women get all these decisions and men get zero, how's that fair? And women say they want equality, but no, they want
women
to be higher. They want to be favored.
Follow your
honestly.
values in another part of the world, as you said.
All right. So you're saying you just go somewhere else?
Yeah, just go somewhere.
But what if they decide to stay in the States?
Honestly, I still think that there's women out there that can be mother.
Okay.
There are some women who are
honestly, if he wants to, then that's fine with me. But can't you get a vasectomy undone?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be opposed to it at all.
You could also detransition after becoming trans. You don't ever want people to do that in the first place. You're messing up.
It doesn't mean it's gonna work all the way, and it doesn't mean you're gonna be the way you were before you had it. Good point, Sneako.
Your body, once you take puberty blockers, you can go off them, but there's going to be a physical.
There's gonna be consequences.
I mean, if he wants to take that risk, I don't really care, because I know that they be getting some girls be lying, doing other shit, and he's trapped now, and then they take all his shit and then leave. So I'm not opposed to it at all, actually.
All right. What about you?
I would say no, but I mean it's their choice.
All right.
I would hope that I raise them a good they have a good sense of moral and they'd be able to pick the right woman.
Okay. What about you?
I think it depends on a lot of what his lifestyle is. If he's, let's say, starting his business and he's very focused on money and things like that, but he's constantly meeting new women and engaging with these women.
Yeah.
Then I would say, okay, there's ways that you can use instead of a vasectomy to avoid the baby. But I have also heard of women trapping men and things like that. But I feel it's up to him. If he thinks no, I'm gonna get trapped. I'm getting I'm meeting new women and I'm doing this and I'm having intimate moments with them, and you know what, do what you want to do, what makes you happy. And regarding
so yes or no?
feel like it's just up to him. Like if he wants,
What advice would you give him though?
I would say,
As the mom.
As the mom of my son, I would say like, don't go around, you know, sticking it in whatever and whoever. Like, why don't you? If you're so focused on, you know, starting a family or, you know, you want to grow, why are you, you know, giving time and energy into things that are just going to be gone in the next morning?
Based.
Okay. So
Yes, and my advice to my son is to really think about what you want in a woman, what you want to wake up to every day, the way that you want your children raised. You know, when you're younger, you don't really think about those things, and sometimes you rush into relationships that with people who have absolutely nothing in common with you, and their morals don't match yours, and you know, 3 years into the relationship, you wonder why you don't even know that person or you don't like them anymore, you know? So I think it's important to get to know yourself and who you are before you even try to get into a serious relationship.
I'll take that as a no. What about you?
No. I think there's still a lot of women with values and that can like be a good mothers and stuff like that here in Florida.
Okay. In Florida?
Well, you say Florida, right?
Okay.
Because she's
Well, I mean in the United States.
Yeah,
well,
right in Miami.
Okay. What about you?
All
I
the good
wouldn't
moms
want
are in
him
Miami.
to. I would just tell
Right on
him
the
to
beach,
work
in
on his
bikinis.
discernment as far as who he's having sex with.
Mhm.
But if he made the decision to have sex with somebody unprotected or whatever happens, then he has to live with those consequences.
All right. What about you?
I personally would tell him I wouldn't want him to do it, but like you can't really control what happens. Things happen, and yeah, that's,
It'd be a big fat no
that's
for
what
me.
they have to live with, and they have
No.
to deal with that and
My
provide
son's
for
never
that
getting a
child.
vasectomy.
And, you know, you always just have to be careful.
Okay.
I mean, at his
Until
big
he's, like,
age, I
50.
feel like
Then he
he
can have
should know the consequences of
I
doing
want
something like
grandkids.
that or not. I would definitely advise him against it because, like you were saying, you know, puberty blockers and all that. Like once you do something to your body, it's very hard. I mean, impossible to reverse anything that you've done. So, I mean, hopefully I would have raised him to where he would make that decision and, you know, it would be sound on his part. But I would advise him against it.
Your advice? Okay.
How old did you say your son was gonna be?
We'll say 30.
30?
Yep.
He's a grown man. I'm not gonna be telling him what to do with his balls or anything. Like,
Right, at 30.
you need to wrap it before you tap it. Even if you do have a vasectomy, what if you get an STD or something?
All right. My take on it, man, I think it's a sliding scale. The more successful the guy, the more money he has, the more he has to lose, the more a vasectomy might be a problem.
See, the one thing is that they come from the perspective of people who care about money so much. Like they put money ahead of everything.
Good choice. But again, it depends on the guy. If the guy's not smashing at all, do you want to do that? And, you know, obviously you can always undo the snip. So it really depends on the individual. And I think the two main variables are his success and how promiscuous he is with dealing with women. I think those two factors heavily influence the decision. It's going to change per person.
Right, but his take, Rollo's take was that to be a high value man, the top 3 steps: avoid family creation, get a vasectomy, and have a network. It's just like the generic male self-improvement stuff, but like 2 of the top 3: get a vasectomy and avoid family creation. Do you agree?
If those are his top 3 tips to men, my take on Rollo is that he's a plant.
Did he say avoid? I don't think he said avoid.
Word for word. Avoid family creation.
It's on top.
Yeah, he's a
top 3
plant.
steps to become a high value man.
Okay. I didn't see this tweet. I'm about to take a look at it. But, I mean, here's the thing. I think what he means by that is being the most... When he says high value man, he's talking from the perspective of being able to be a playboy and get as many girls.
But why is that a priority over having a family? Like, why
Right.
would that even be advice?
Why does that make you a high value man?
Be a playboy instead of raise a family? We make fun of women all day for wanting to be girl boss queens and sleep around and have all this, and then you tell guys be a playboy instead of raise a family.
It's
That's
the
same
exact
advice on the other
opposite side of the
Because
coin.
here's the thing. When you're a playboy, you're going to be better at raising the family. And the reason
But he's
for
saying
that,
avoid family creation.
well, he's saying to be a high value, he's talking from the frame, knowing Rollo, because I know him personally, he's talking from the frame of being a guy getting a lot of girls. And then, if you decide you want to get a family down the road, you can always unsnip and then go ahead and go down the family route. But in today's day and age, I agree to a degree that you need to have sex with at least 50 girls as a guy. I've talked about that all the time. It's controversial. But the reason why I say that is because most women are more promiscuous than most guys. So if you're a dude and you're getting out here and dating girls and you get your pee-pee wet with the first girl, she could sell you a dream and you'll be like, oh yeah, this is great. So guys got to get out there and be sexually experienced. So he's talking from the frame of being attractive.
I think most guys out here are not going to be able to control their sexual urges. So he's saying
dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The quickest path to becoming a high-value man. Do not get married. Avoid family creation. Vasectomy in your 20s. Live consistently. Eliminate all sedations. Learn game and networking. Play to your strengths. Build wealth. Resist easing up on your focus. He's talking about increasing your value when you're young.
Becoming successful, yeah.
Becoming successful. Yeah.
Avoid family creation and get a vasectomy.
Yeah, because when you, because your value doesn't go up until you're built something, and that's typically going to be in your 30s.
So most guys,
that's what he's saying.
What do they focus on? Girls the whole time. He's saying at this point in your career, when you're on the way up, focus on things that are going to help you move forward in life and become successful.
Yeah. And get a surgery done that prevents you from having children.
Yeah, but you can always reverse it.
That's not like a lot of the times.
Yeah, but it's not a guaranteed reversal. Like there could be complications. Or what if you can't get it up again anymore after that? Like, are you willing to take that chance just so you can sleep around with as many women as you want? I don't think it's a trade-off.
But you could just hope that it's going to be okay.
Generally, most men can't control their urges, so what's going to happen is they're going to go fuck around.
You need God. That's why you need God.
Is how you rise up the path to become high status because you're eliminating all variables that can fuck you up.
Yeah, it's about
That's what he's saying.
Risk mitigation right there.
How many dudes do you know that could have made it to the NBA or could have been a star and an athlete or something that got some chick pregnant?
Yeah.
Like kids a lot of the times ruin dudes' futures because they have kids prematurely. So he's saying this is the path to becoming a high value man.
They can.
And then once you become that guy,
they can, but again, it comes back to accountability. We make choices, and then there are consequences for those choices. And unfortunately, I think, I get a vasectomy, but is that an easy out? Is that a way to avoid having to take any sort of accountability and to just be able to put your thing in whatever you want? And is that even fulfilling? And never mind the fact that when you do connect with somebody, you take pieces of their energy, they take pieces of yours, so then you're carrying around all this energy from all these people. Bad things start happening to you. You wonder why. It's not that difficult to see how it happens.
Reverse the vasectomy.
Reverse the vasectomy.
Yeah.
Do you think that's good advice?
I think it's
that's
terrible
advice.
advice.
If your qualifications of a high value man is a guy with a big body count, but it might be like I thought.
No. He's talking about increasing your value as a man. You're basically what he's doing is he's retard proofing it.
Yeah.
If you have a vasectomy and you bust nuts at girls, you're not going to have a kid, so you're not going to fuck up your future when you're young and you're not in a position to raise that child. That's what he's saying.
We all know what is men's biggest weakness: women. And as a result, what happens is, what's another factor for not having success? Having a kid too early. That's reality.
That's the number one wealth killer, dude.
Yeah,
kids.
having
If you really
kids.
look at it. It's the number one wealth killer.
Now, once again, we support families.
Yeah, we do.
But at the same time, for what he's saying, to become successful at a young
You
age,
can't say that you support families and also tell your audience to get a vasectomy.
we didn't say that. We just said we're
totally defensive about it.
We're explaining why he said that.
Do you agree?
I understand why he said it.
They won't say
You
it.
see how you're ducking? You see how you're ducking the critics? It's a simple
But
question.
it's on me. It's not about me. It's about the generational.
I'm asking your opinion.
No. Sneako, you're funny.
It's just a question.
No.
But we make the girls on the panel answer questions specifically all the time.
Yes.
Agree, yes or no?
Personally, my decision.
Right.
Discussion. I'm just saying for you, bro.
Politician answer.
I understand why he's saying that.
Yeah, you see, your thing is he's talking about how to become a high value guy. That's good advice.
I have a follow up question for
you're
the
eliminating
girls.
fuck up bullshit. Like,
Wow. Yo. Okay, I gotta say, it is refreshing to see somebody hold Myron and the boys to the same standard that they hold the ladies to when they're on their panel. And I've gotta say, it's refreshing to see Sneako actually talking about families, and it's interesting. He must have been doing some growing. He's some soul searching. That last incident with the cucking thing, and that must have been a little embarrassing for him, I guess. And he's totally blossomed into kind of a new person. I'm interested to see who he becomes, and I'm going to keep watching. But thanks for joining me again. My name is Renee, and I will see you next time on Highly Motivated. Have a great day.